κατάσταση το αμαξοστασίο.
Με δάνειο είναι αδύναμο να αποπληρώνουν τους τόκους.
Come on. You left a note on the board. What's happened?
These Athenians are a blight on the land.
And what are you going to do about this blight?
I have scouted their camps, their boats, their supplies, even their upper ranks. I would burn it all if I could, but I can't compromise my position.
So I have to sink the Athenian fleet.
Will you?
I'll help you.
Please, get it done.
May the gods guide you. I should be careful. High security here. Come on! Ready the oars! Sails down! attack! Now! Break!
Commander, we are taking damage!
Throw spears! More oars! Full power! Lower the sail! Oars down! Go! Spears down! Everybody brace!
They're coming right at us!
Release spears! Faster! Sails down! Sails up! I'm on tight! Now! Spears! Hit them! Fire! Spears!
A miss!
Archer! Take your mark!
There will be more battles like that. That is the advantage.
Head for open water! Keep up the speed! Get that sail down! Get that sail up! Sails down! Ship the oars! Raise the sail! Under position! Spear! Fire! Sails now!
I think we're out of danger here. You have been waiting for a second there, Commander.
Slow! Ship the oars! Rowers, do your oars! We're moving now! Ready the oars! Drop the sail! Get the oars ready!
Malaka! They're headed right for us! Yes! We can probably salvage that!
Start throwing! Slower, now! Sailing speed!
We are pulling up to that salvage! Something else, I hear. There's some debris in the water.
Rowing speed! Slower!
Attention! Commander leaving the helm!
Back already? Did you destroy them all?
It would be hard to piece them back together.
You've served Sparta well. This is for you.
All in a day's work.
Hey, Ray. Just hop on doing some Assassin's Creed. What you up to? Oh, it looks like the same thing. Oh, on Red Dead? Mm-hmm. All the animals? Hmm. I just wonder if it's been so long since they've did maintenance to those servers that they're just starting to, you know what I mean? It sounds like they need to do maintenance. Basic maintenance. So he didn't get it last year? Yep, that's what I was telling people is I've heard some people saying they didn't buy it last year. There was some people that missed out on it. Remember, it's only 15 ranks, Ray, so remember we were done with it in like a day. And as far as I remember, you got all your gold back. Hmm. I wasn't either. Mm-hmm. I thought the lantern was going to be cool, but it's not very bright. It's very dim. We didn't get it for 20, we got it for 15. They didn't charge us that much. They upped the price this year. 5 gold bars. Remember that, Ray? Yeah, we only paid 15 gold bars for it last year. That's why I was like, they've upped the price. They're trying to squeeze whatever they can out of it. They're offering it a second time, which they've never did before for any of the Outlaw passes. They've never offered any of them before for a second time. So that's why I was like, this is the first time they've did that. Yeah. No, that was last month, Ray. That was last month. It's my PlayStation still hasn't updated for the events for this month. It still isn't showing me the events. I was reading that from the events. To tell you the truth, I think everybody's over the pelt glitch. Is that what you're talking about? Where everybody was essentially duping those golden spirit bear pelts? Yeah, I think everybody's over that now. I don't think there's enough people on anymore, and I don't think there's people willing to do it. You know what I mean? Like, there's not enough people on to jump back and forth from. And then on top of that, freaking the people that used to do it aren't really on anymore to do that. It's back to actual hunting if you want to keep your wagons running. Well, if you only did one and you got booted from the game, that daily probably reset back to 0. Angry Ape. Oh, Norse. Lady Norse, I guess she calls herself now. Yeah, he's been hopping on Odyssey lately also. Carlisle. He's been hopping on Odyssey too lately. He re-downloaded it. He said he heard me talking about it, and he was like, I played that game. He's like, but I just ran through the story. I didn't do anything else. He's like, I don't think I had many trophies left to get. And I pulled his trophies up while he was in the party with me. As soon as he said that, I pulled his trophies up, started looking at him, and I was like, oh my goodness, dude. I was like, you don't. I was like, you have like 9 left, total counting the platinum. I was like, and the stuff you've got left to do is relatively not that much, it's relatively easy. I was like, they're not that much effort. I was like, all you got to do is time consuming. It's why I was like, that's about all you got left. Is the ones you got left are not hard to do at all. They're just time consuming. So I read them to him, told him what to do. He hopped on the game as soon as it was done downloading, and he was still in the party with me. And one of them he had to do was get the stink eye from the goat. The obsidian eye from one of the goats. It's called Stink Eye, the name of the trophy. And as soon as he hopped in the game, because I had told him that he was in Kefalonia, he seen a couple of goats nearby him. As soon as he spawned in, he ran over, hit him, and the 4th one had the eye in it, right near him as soon as he spawned in. Yeah, so literally within minutes of getting into the game, he got one of the trophies I was telling him how to get. I told him I spent, Oh, I lost my earbud. I yanked it out of my ear. Here we go. I told him I spent 45 minutes, I think I remember, getting that that trophy. I ran around Kefalonia killing goats for like 45 minutes before it finally gave it to me. You might have picked it up from anywhere, off of somebody you killed or one of those weapon stands. Or... oh, a helmet actually doesn't come from the weapon stands. But you could have picked it up off of any chest, or out of any chest, or any person you looted. Oh, are you in the owned section? In the store section, in the owned section of the store? Interesting. You can change the look of your armor by pressing, what is it? Square when you highlight one of the pieces of armor or weapons, you can change their appearance by hitting square while you have it highlighted. You don't kick. You see what I'm talking about? Don't hit X on it. Just while you're in the inventory menu, hover over it. You know, bring the cursor over it, and then hit square. And it should have like a little eye symbol when at the bottom, in the right-hand corner of the description of the item. You see the little eye symbol. If you that'll take it off, I think. But like I said, if you look in the, not in the right hand corner of the screen, in the right hand corner of the, when you have the cursor over the piece of armor, don't hit X on it to change it. You know how it says like change in the left hand corner when you have it highlighted, and then the right hand corner it has a little eye symbol and it says square. If you hit the square button, it'll pull up all the armors you've ever picked up in the entire game, and it'll show what they look like, and you can change any piece of armor to any piece of armor you've picked up in the game, essentially. You can make anything look like anything else, and that's what I'm talking about. Is you said your head armor looks like it might have changed. That might be what happened. Oh, okay. If you want to revert whatever item it is, its appearance back to the original appearance of the equipped item, you can hit the little arrow that does a circle and it'll revert it back to whatever its original appearance is. I accidentally did that one time, and it made it where I was very confused every time I put the armor on. I think the noxious boots are part of the poison outfit, part of the snake outfit. Well, when you get all 5 pieces, if you hit square, it should say square when you have it highlighted to equip the entire set. If it says that, you have the entire set. So then equip it, and then anytime you poison somebody, it increases the effects of the poison doing more damage. Yes, the immortal outfit is really nice. When you get all 5 pieces of it, and if you have it equipped, if somebody kills you, when your health bar gets all the way to 0, your guy will fall down to the ground, and then he'll immediately stand back up. He won't actually die. Yeah, you're checking out all the cultists you've discovered. Those are the people that when you pick up enough clues, it'll reveal their identity and their location, and then you can go and assassinate them. Those are the people responsible for taking you from your mother, essentially. From the main story. Yeah, remember I was telling you. Yeah, remember I was telling you if you complete one mission, sometimes it'll unlock and bring up more missions. And that's just the line of missions you're on for that person. You know what I mean? Whoever you're doing those missions for. So that's just the quest line. And when you get to the end of it and run out, you're done with that quest line. Eventually, you can get where your quests menu is empty completely. That's how it is for me when I go in there now, into the regular map. I've did every quest on the map. I have nothing left. That's why I said I downloaded the Atlantis DLC, and that is the only thing I have left in the game to do, is that DLC. I haven't did that yet. But now that I've started the Atlantis DLC, now my quest is all full again. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 quests in there to do now. And then, like I told you, as soon as you download that stuff, it opens a whole new map for you. Do you want to share play with me so I can see what you're talking about? Do you need help on it or anything? Oh, Peros? Elysium? Oof. I might have to take a look at that because... Yeah, Peros? Yeah. Find Peros Island. It's a location on that island. Yes, make sure when you go anywhere near one of those sync points, you sync it so you can fast travel back there. As the story took me along and into each area, whenever I got close to any sync point, I just went up, climbed up it, and synced it. And then after I got pretty far into the story, eventually at some point I went around and just literally went across the entire map and synced all of them at once. Whatever I hadn't synced left. Mm-hmm. And then after that, as I was doing the story, I didn't have to go out of my way and sync the point because it was already synced. But I waited till I got pretty far into the story before I went around and synced all the locations. It increases Icaros's abilities to spot stuff from farther away. That's another reason why eventually I just went around and did them all. It says here, increase its accuracy by synchronizing viewpoints. So you essentially increase his accuracy every time you synchronize the viewpoints. But yeah, it's you'll have to pay attention to that because even though it tells you a location, it'll also give you another, like, one of the sub-regions within the region of the island, you know what I mean? So you gotta zoom in, take a look, and see what the names of those regions are before you can find what it's talking about. Yep. As you zoom in, the name of the island will disappear and the region's names will appear. And as you zoom in farther, you know what I mean? Each time you zoom in, it'll get closer to and remove other names and add other names. That's why I was like, so you got to zoom in and out to be able to see that stuff. Yeah, if you watched my game now, if I sure played and you watched it now, you'd be totally confused. Because the map is... I'm not even on the same map anymore. That's why I was saying I downloaded this Atlantis, because I finished everything on that map. I discovered every location, did everything I possibly could. And then it gave me another map location for free that I was telling you only took me like 3 days to completely clear that map. The Corfu map. It took me like I say, probably about 3 days to clear that entire map and discover everything in it. And it was a nice little DLC. It was cool, especially for a free one. And then, like I said, then I already got this Atlantis DLC with my game. I just never downloaded it. I already have it bought and paid for. I just never downloaded it, so I started downloading it and doing it since I have nothing left to do in the game. Oh, yeah, I hate that sometimes when you get in a corner or somewhere where your camera gets all wonky. You can't see. Huh? Yeah, because the autosave could take you back like freaking 5-10 minutes. You could lose everything you did in the last 5, 10, 15 minutes. Sometimes a little more, maybe a little less. So yeah, I do the same thing. I have to autosave regularly. Or make it save, you know what I mean, to make sure that I know where I'm gonna be at when I come back. I always do that same thing too, is I'll save when I go to leave the game to make sure I'm standing right where I'm at. You mean... Oh, yes. Yeah, if you're hitting L2, it'll change it from hide completed, hide all icons, historical icons, gameplay icons. I always put it on hide completed. But the historical stuff gives you actual factual information about the locations. Actual real historical knowledge about the areas. That's why I said the stories are fictional, but all the locations and a lot of the stuff in all these games is real. Is actual fact. But like I said, all the stories with the assassin and all that stuff, that's all just total fiction. But it's good. It's good fake stories. Mm-hmm. They're very detailed stories. Now, I'm in, like I was telling you, I'm in Atlantis right now, so since I'm in a mythical realm, they don't have the historical locations. They don't have that option when I'm in the map here. I just was clicking through it as I was telling you about that, and was like, yeah, that one is not showing up on my map because I'm not in a real place. Or a place we've found yet. Because like I was telling you, I don't know, but the more we keep discovering about the planet, I don't think it's too far off that if Atlantis was a real place, eventually they'll find it. Yeah, if the evidence is still findable, if it's not been covered up or something like that, we'll find it. Well, remember I was telling you, Ray, that mythological city that they talk about in the ancient texts of India, in the, what do they call them? I forgot their name of their, essentially their equivalent to the Bible or Quran or whatever. Freaking, like, their ancient texts describe a city that had a major earthquake, and it was swallowed by the sea, is how it's described in the ancient text. Well, they thought it was legend. It's been in their legends. It's been written in those ancient texts and stuff like that. So like I said, it started getting to the point where people didn't believe that city was real ever or anything. And just recently, I think 2017, 18, maybe 19, something like that, just recently in the last few years, they just found it. Right off the coast of India. It is there. And they said that there's evidence of major earthquake damage. But, like you were saying, so, you know, and it goes back to the ancient texts, kind of proving what they said. You know, there was a massive earthquake and then it was swallowed by the sea, you know, and they were like, you can definitely tell there was a major earthquake, caused major damage to it at the time that it was swallowed up by the sea. essentially, as it was covered by the sea, because they can, you know, there's no evidence of anything being even moved after that happened. You know what I mean? Nothing was tried to be repaired or moved or anything. Everybody, you can tell, just died instantly. But it was kind of deep. You know what I mean? That's why they haven't found it. Even though it was right off the coast of India, in the locations that they used to describe it in the ancient texts, that's how they know that it's this city, because the location was described in the ancient text. So they were like, this has got to be it. We just didn't realize it. You know what I mean? It's just when when they first found it, they were just like, we found an ancient city, and then, you know what I mean, then they started going back and researching and found, oh well, this is the legendary city that they talked about in the ancient text. It's in the exact same location. Mm-hmm. And come to find out, it was. But like I said, even though it's right off the coast, it's in deep water. That's why they never found it before. And then, like you were saying, it was an earthquake, and because it was an earthquake, a lot of it was covered with rubble and debris. And I think that's one of the things they were saying, that they found it was with ground penetrating LiDAR or radar or something like that. So essentially, they're starting to a bunch of archaeological digs that are underwater. They're starting to cover a lot of that. Exactly. Yeah. Well, now in real life, they've got those little subs that can go way deeper than anybody can. You know, those like little 5 foot long little like subs that just contain cameras and they're remote controlled. Mm-hmm. And those are getting really, like 5 years ago, those were really expensive and they were very rare. I don't think they're really expensive anymore, and I don't think they're really rare anymore. I'm starting to see them on all kinds of Discovery Channel, History Channel. That's why I was like, I don't know. They've found, like in the past 10 or 15 years, I think they found 2 or 3 cities underwater. That's why I was like, they're starting to find more and more, and it's starting to speed up. You know what I mean? Because you can tell the technology is proliferating. They're starting to be able to use it all over everywhere, and they're just finding the stuff. You know what I mean? It's just, that's why I was like, it sounds like if Atlantis was real, it's just a matter of time before we find it now. Because we've even got satellites searching the entire planet for that stuff now. Yeah, they've sent up satellites, I've heard, in the last 10 years that have the ground penetrating radar and LiDAR on them too. and they're penetrating. They're shooting lasers, I guess, through the Amazon forest. I was seeing in something, penetrating the floor of to get through the leaves of the canopy. You know what I mean? Since the satellite's in space and it's looking straight down, it can't see, you know what I mean, the actual ground. It just sees the tops of all the trees. But they figured out that if the satellite shoots like millions of frickin' lasers down at the ground, it can penetrate the canopy and see the ground. And then it can see what's underneath it too. Like I said, with the ground penetrating radar or LiDAR or whatever they're using, I don't remember exactly what they called it. Or it might be both. But that's why I was like, freaking, they were able to see, and these things are starting to, you remember when that stuff first came out, it would picture a blob, and it'd be like, oh, there's something there. Well, how can you tell that? You can't tell anything from that blob. Well, the blob. Exactly. That's it. The blob on the screen tells me there's something there. Well, now the blob isn't a blob anymore. It actually shows the actual shape of whatever it is. Like, they're starting to get that detailed, that good with it, I guess, that it can actually show you what is under the ground in detail. Not just a blob anymore. That's why I was like, they're starting to find pyramids in places that we never knew that there was pyramids. And underwater, by the way. That's why I was like, the satellites are finding stuff underwater too. Yeah. Yeah. And I've talking about that, I've heard, yeah, because the snow uncovering in the North Pole and the South Pole, they're starting to find stuff up there and down there. Yeah. That's a fair point. That's a very real possibility. Oh man. Oh, you're killing me, Ray. Oh man. Woo. Oh. Yeah, by the way, you're the little yellow triangle. Oh man. Mm-hmm. Yes. And it's actually faster usually in this game to travel on foot than it is to even get on your horse. Unless something is like at least, I would say 200, 300 to 500 meters away. If it's, up to that, I'm not using a horse. If it's only within a couple hundred meters of me, I'm just running to it. But anything, like I said, over 300 meters, I'm calling a horse and just riding to it. And then I'm just putting it in, like, cinematic mode in freaking Red Dead. You can do that, too, where the game will just control your horse. Yes. Mm-hmm. If you're riding on the roads, there's none of that right next to the road where in reach while you're on the road. It'll be right off of it, right out of your reach. If you see, like, sometimes as soon as you pull off the road, if you're hitting triangle riding around, you'll pick up something immediately as soon as you go off the road. But that's why I was like, it's never within reach of you while you're on the road, though. Every once in a blue moon, you'll have something within reach on the road. I guess I should say it's never not within reach on the road, but that's why I was like, every once in a blue moon. I only know of like 2 locations in the game where something's right next to the road, where you can grab it. Like a mineral in one spot and an olive tree in another. So I was like, I don't even... Yeah, if you go to the quests and you hit X on it to track it, it'll mark it with like a gold diamond shape. I think it's essentially the save symbol. Yeah, it's a gold version of the save symbol. You know when the symbol down in the left-hand corner pops up when you're saving? It's that symbol, but in a gold diamond form instead of the white diamond like it is down in the corner when it's saving the game. I forget. I did the new game plus thing on Origins. I didn't ever do it on here before. But that's why I was like, I can't remember. I think it just started my game all over, but I kept my rank and everything I had from the first playthrough when you do New Game Plus. So it was interesting. So I got to restart the entire game over with everything that I got from my previous game. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's why I was saying you got to restart and play the game, all the missions, everything, with all your stuff fully upgraded. If you fully upgraded it before you hit New Game Plus, you get it with all of it, rank 99, all your legendary outfits, all your legendary mounts, everything you collected in the game, whatever you have, you get it all back still in the new game. Except you have it all, like I said, now you have a new game with everything that you got from your first one, so you're totally equipped for everything right off the bat. And you can do it any way you want to. You know what I mean? It opens up a lot of possibilities of even being able to do it in different ways because, you know what I mean, the first playthrough you probably only had 1 or 2 outfits. You know what I mean? So, that you were using. Mm-hmm.
Hi, bro.
Yeah, like I said, make sure you do all those sync points, because that eagle is really, really helpful. If you're talking about like the compass above you when you send it up to fly, I always use that. It makes it a lot easier to tell. You didn't have that before? Oh, really? Showing you the directions above you at the top of the screen? Oh, wow. I didn't remember ever not having that ability with Icaros. That Icaros would suck without those abilities, that's for sure. The Sparta kick ability. I was just gonna say, no, it's really nice ability. It is a very helpful one. If anybody's near a cliff, goodbye. They go sailing. It's actually really cool. Now, all these abilities, yeah, they kind of feel like cheating because they're not real, you know what I mean, in that aspect. Because, you know, Alexios isn't like any other human. He's technically got God DNA, you know what I mean? He's freaking an immortal, is what they call him in the game. So, freaking, he's, you know, got all these special abilities that nobody else has. So that's why I was like, yeah, you know, it's not really cheating. They give them to you in the game. You're supposed to use them. And they're pretty cool. They're definitely pretty cool. I think you would really like this Atlantis DLC. I'm just doing the first part of it, but it's really cool. Yeah, watch that. I built up my elemental resistance because of people setting me on fire, NPCs setting me on fire and poisoning me. And it would kill me really quickly. But when I got up to 15% elemental resistance, it makes a huge difference. It doesn't seem to have as much effect. Some people sometimes aren't if they have a shield, or if they are in what do you call it, like berserk mode, where they have like a green glow or red glow around them or orange glow. Because those got the NPCs got Huh. You can't parry him with L1, R1? Huh. Is he turning up bright red? Is he going to like berserk mode, or? Because they got special abilities too. What rank are you? So you're a higher rank than he is. Interesting. I don't know what to tell you. That's why I was like, you'll have to change your style up. Because some people I remember were like that when I was playing too. Is I couldn't block them, I couldn't parry them, I couldn't phase them or stumble them when I hit them. You know what I mean? So that's why I was like, a lot of people when you hit them, they start falling over. They get stumbled, where they'll be like woozy and kind of looking at the ground. And that's why I was like, there was some people I couldn't do that to. And that's why I was like, and you just have to change your style up when you come across those ones. I'd have to hit square and dodge a lot of their stuff. Do you have the outfit where you can slow time? Okay. Because I was like, anybody that you can't block and you can't parry them and you can't stumble them and they're poisoning you or setting you on fire every time they hit you. I think I heard you say something about that too. Freaking, there's an outfit that slows time, and that one's really helpful. The Persian Elite set, it's called. It's a 40% damage whenever time is slowed down. So I guess it doesn't slow time down, but it gives you 40% damage every time you do slow time down. But you have the ability, you know what I mean, to slow time down. Which, I don't have it right now. I have Chronos' Time Warp on there. Let me take that off. In the abilities menu, yeah. You gotta equip it. There's a slow time ability. Says move faster than Hermes as time is slowed down for 10 seconds. And I have that 3 ability points on there, so it's maxed out. If you don't have any maxed out like that, it'll be like 2 or 5 seconds or something like that you can only slow time for. But that ability is very helpful. And then, like I said, if you equip that ability and use that ability with the Persian Elite set, that slows time down, and you do that ability slows the time down, and then the outfit does 40% damage whenever time is slowed down. And 40% damage is a lot, you know what I mean? Compared to a lot of the percentages you get on a lot of the other things, 40% is a lot. That's why I said if you use that ability in combination with that outfit, you devastate people. And then you can slow down time if you perfectly time dodging the NPC's attacks. It'll automatically slow time down for you. You don't even have to use that ability. And if you had that outfit equipped, it does the same thing. Even if you didn't initiate the time slowdown, but you just had it pop up because you perfectly timed a dodge, it still gives you 40% damage because the time slowed down. Doesn't matter. Whenever the time is slowed down, if you initiate it, they initiate it, whatever it happens, you're doing 40% damage. That's why I was like, that. I used that outfit for quite a while. It was nice. I was rank 84 when I was using that outfit. And even though the time slow down thing, when I go to the abilities, that time slow down is under the assassin abilities, it works very well as a warrior ability. Because the outfit, the personal lead outfit, is a warrior outfit, where you're getting the 40% damage from the outfit. So I was like, the ability itself is under assassin abilities, but you can put it under your warrior abilities, use it as a warrior ability in combination with that outfit. That's why I was telling you, a lot of the assassin abilities, hunter abilities, and warrior abilities can complement each other very nicely. They're not just assassin ability, warrior ability, hunter ability. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I was saying, like, slowing time down is usually an assassin ability, but it works very nicely with a warrior equipped properly to use it. The game gets very complicated with the perks, the engravings, the abilities, and the stat bonuses they give you. And remember, I was telling you, you can click in the left joystick while you're in the inventory menu and see all the bonuses you're getting from everything all at once. It shows it, breaks it down for you in stats and in percentages, and it shows you in percentages exactly how much help you're getting from each thing. So I was like, it's very cool. I like it because it's hard to keep track of an outfit and everything it's doing for you. You know what I mean? And those stats show you. They break it all down for you, make it easy for you to make it a lot easier. And then it makes it a lot easier to see when you change engravings, upgrade outfits, you know what I mean? How much more they're helping you compared to what it was doing. That detailed stats in the inventory is very helpful. I haven't checked to see if I've unlocked any new engravings lately. Who doesn't climb? Oh, yes. Yes, they will take a trail, whatever the normal path is, to get out of the fort or to get down from it. Yeah, it's helpful if you have to free somebody. It's helpful if you kill everybody before you open the cage and let them out. Otherwise, if that's what you did and you're already rolling with that, you're going to have to run through right on their butt and make sure nobody attacks them and kill everybody that tries to attack them. You're going to have to protect them the whole way, actually. That's why I was like, what I do is I go through the entire area as an assassin, kill everybody silently, one by one, and then I open the cage and let them out. And then we can just run through the camp and nobody bothers us. Because they can get killed. And if they do, it screws up your story, or you have to go back and reload one of your previous saves. You're in Naxos? Just pull up your map and it's a great big white area. Because it's white marble, you know what I mean? So since all the marble's exposed, it's easy to see it. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think I remember slightly. I think I slightly remember exactly the missions you're doing right now. Yeah, he probably disappeared because now you gotta meet him somewhere else or the mission's over. Yeah, since you're doing missions, I'm gonna hop out of here, and it's hard to pay attention to those things when you're in a party. No, the main captive is the one, like you said, that counted, the one you were supposed to get. The other one was just for probably the location's objective. You know what I mean? You know how each location has objectives where you're supposed to, like, usually free prisoners from a camp? That was probably one of the location objectives. You see what I'm saying? You're probably supposed to free prisoners from that camp when you go to clear it for the objectives to doing it. You don't have to go back and clear every location right away. You can leave it and keep moving on with the story. But if you want to get your character ranked up, going back and clearing a location's objectives helps you clear, rank up, because it's giving you a lot of XP for everything you're going to do to clear the location. Mm-hmm. Yep. And all three of them are with her, the same person. If if they are, then you're right. Yeah, it's essentially you have like three different missions with her. You have like three different parts to maybe it's 3 different things she wants you to do for a previous mission that you did. You know what I mean? That's why I was like, this game goes all over the place. You've got to pay attention when you're to reading the quests, the missions, and everything. It's a pretty detailed story. But yeah, if you're doing a quest, all those quests, I'll hop out of here so you can pay attention to them. I'm about to start some missions myself in the Atlantis. And I've got the earbud in, and when I was trying to do this yesterday with the earbud, with one of my missions, they were literally, every time they talked, I couldn't hear you. The earbud sucks so bad. You can tell because it's just an earbud. It only has like one speaker, so that's why I was saying anytime the game was talking, it just drowned you out because it's only you and it were talking at the same time, and it can only do one sound at a time. And that's what I love about my headset is that's a 7.1 Dolby Digital surround sound headset, and it literally has 7 speakers built into the ear. Each ear has 7 speakers in it. So it can separate, and you do not get distortion when a bunch of people or a bunch of sounds are happening at the same time. It separates each sound so that they don't distort through a different speaker. That's why I was telling you this headset that I have is badass. There's no distortion, none of that, because it's 7 speakers built into the earpieces. There's 7 of them in there. And it can separate each and every sound through a different speaker, so there's no distortion. That's why I was saying this earbud, I couldn't do that with that yesterday. It thing freaking sucks. It can only do one thing at a time. You can either play a game with it or you can be in a party with it. You can't do both. Well, because of, like I said, it literally cuts out the party and it just only puts the game through when you're actually playing the game. When you were talking, yeah, that's why I said, and when it was doing the cutscenes yesterday, it literally cut you off when you were talking. If the game started talking, somebody in the game started talking, it totally cut you off. Like I couldn't hear you at all. It's not like you were breaking up or anything. It just cut you off. It was like I can't do the party and the game at the same time, so it's like I'm just doing the game. That's why I was like, apparently this earbud can't do the party and a game at the same time. Like, I have no problem doing it with Red Dead, but like you were saying, freaking, the sounds in Red Dead are not as loud and not as, you know, it's more nature, kind of background noise most of the time. This game is not background noise at all. Yeah. That's why I say you got to pay attention to this game. You can't just play it and be letting yourself get distracted. If you miss what they're saying, you're going to have no idea what to do for the next mission. I've had it happen. That's why I said I'd just take videos. Because my son or girlfriend will walk by and just, randomly say something, distract me, and I'll stop paying attention, or you've even gotten up and walked off, literally, in the middle of it. Like, come back, picked up the controller, started playing again, and was like, what am I doing? What the fuck is going on? Mm. Mm-hmm. I can't hear you with them on. As soon as I take them off, then you stop. It's like she expected that you heard her with them on. Yeah, that literally happens to my girlfriend too. I'll take them off and say what, and then she'll be pissed off and not want to repeat it. It's like, well, I'm sorry that you started saying something when I'm not paying attention to expecting you to say something. I'm listening to whatever I'm in. But they totally don't understand since they haven't did it. You know what I mean? My girlfriend played PlayStation 3, but she didn't do the party stuff. So she literally just doesn't understand the party stuff. And, or even playing with other people. Because it wasn't like that when she played. You know, it was all by yourself. There was no internet. And like I said, she did with PS3 a little bit. She didn't get into parties with people, but like I said, she did play with some people. She started adding some friends. She played a snowboarding game where it was multiplayer online on PS3, so she ended up adding some people to play with on there. But like I said, she never did the party thing, so she just doesn't understand what it's like. Other than what I've told her. And that's why she's bought me the headset, because I've told her I really like having that multiple speakers, being able to hear every part of the game clearly. It's like you're really there. And I've told her the downside is when I have that on, it's like I'm really there and I can't hear anything going on around me. Yeah, like I said, I think you'd really like this Atlantis DLC, Ray. It's with the gods. It's really cool. There's a bunch of gods in it. Like I said, I'm doing something with Hermes right now. You know how you've run into the gods in the regular game, right? You sometimes run into them. I don't know if you have yet, but sometimes you do. Sometimes you run into the real gods and actually talk to them, since Alexios or Cassandra, since you're Cassandra, you're immortal. You're technically a god yourself. You know what I mean? You're immortal. You come from them. You know what I mean? That's part of the whole story, is that, you know, Alexios learns that his family is lineage from one of those gods. You know what I mean? So that's why I was like, the story's really cool. So I was like, when you're going through it, you'll end up running into them, then learning your story. It's pretty cool. So I was like, I'm sure you'd probably like that Atlantis DLC. I'm just checking it out right now. Ah. Releasing more people, huh? Some of the places you can get are awesome views and awesome vantage points, especially for shooting your bow or whatever, or coming down. You remember when you jump off a cliff, if you hold R2, he'll slam down on the ground with his weapon and kill everybody nearby. Oh, you got spotted. That's why you ran away. Now you're gonna have a shit ton of guys come in. Might be better to just run away for a little bit till it cools off. Usually when they catch me like that, I just peel off and I come back to, I get far enough away so that everybody stops looking for me. So it makes a little sound effect when everybody stops looking for you. So then I run straight back. That's why I was like, you could have finished off a mission for somebody that was nearby just by picking up something. Well, it might have been a mission to kill him, specifically that person. Yeah, it usually is like that. I had that happen all the time when I was going through clearing locations. It could be a bag that you looted, a chest that you looted, it could be a person you killed. They ask for all kinds of shit in those missions. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I was like, as you're going through clearing a location, if it happened to be one of those temporary missions, just happens to be the stuff is in there and you pick it up or kill the person or whatever, you just completed the mission even without knowing it. And when you go to your quests and read it, it'll even say that. Alexios unknowingly completed a mission, he doesn't know how, but his vengeance for the day must have completed a mission for him or something like that. You know what I mean? And then it says go collect your reward. So if you click on the mission, then you just go over to the person, collect your reward. Mm-hmm. The only time I like being in an actual warrior battle is when I'm in a conquest battle. If I'm clearing a location, I do not want to be spotted whatsoever. I want to kill everybody like an assassin because it's a one-hit kill and I'm not spotted. I don't have a bunch of people on me all at once. I can kill everybody individually. You've seen me do it. But that's why I was like, if I do get spotted, I just run away till they get unalerted, and then I go right back, and then I continue right where I left off. I go finished off killing the rest of them and doing all the objectives. But yeah, I'm gonna hop back over and do this Atlantis DLC. I don't want to tell you too much. I probably already told you too much. Like I said, it's really cool. Like I was telling you, so far from what it looks like, they did the same thing that they did in Origins for one of the DLCs. They took you to the afterlife. And apparently that's what Atlantis is doing, is taking me to the Greek afterlife. Instead of the Egyptian one, it's the Greek one. The Greek version of the afterlife. And since I'm in the afterlife, essentially, almost everybody I interact with is a god now. So that's why I was like, you'll run into them as you're playing your game. It sounds like you're kind of getting into the middle of it. Maybe possibly still at the beginning a little bit, but that's why I was like, you're ranked 30 something, you said? That's why I was like, yeah, you're probably like a third of the way into it, so almost about halfway. That's why I was like, mm-hmm. You will eventually run into some gods. Like I said, when you start getting deeper into the story, you'll run into them. Because like I said, Alexios is immortal. Yeah. Like I said, if you set up your assassin outfit right, you can kill everybody in one hit. I was doing that if I had to critically assassinate, where I had to hold triangle to make sure that I killed one hit killed a lot of the like captains and stuff like that. But all the regular soldiers, I could just press triangle and it would kill them. I would walk up behind them. If the bar was fully red, I could just press the triangle button real quick, just tap it. If it wasn't all red, I had to hold it to do a critical assassinate, and then that would kill them in one hit. But now that I got this one dagger I was reading you yesterday, this thing is awesome. It makes it where I can one tap everybody instead of holding triangle. Oh, I was too. I was buying them all. I was doing one at a time, mind you, but and now I have every single ability in the game. Except for 3 of the hunter abilities, like I was telling you. I didn't buy the spread shot, I didn't buy the devastating shot, I didn't buy the rapid fire. There was no trophies or anything to do with those abilities. And they didn't look that impressive to me. I didn't even feel like checking them out. So, like I said, I didn't buy them. Yeah. That's why I was like, I'm not real impressed with the hunt. I'm glad that they gave us that ability and that way to play, but I'm not real impressed with it. I'm more like the assassin, and I'm more like the warrior. Like I said, the assassin category I ended up buying recently. I remember I was telling you before, there was like 2, 3, I think, things in there that I hadn't bought, like the Shadow of the Nyx ability and the Vanish ability where you throw the smoke bomb, stuff like that. That's why I was like, before I remember telling you I hadn't bought them, but since I've come back playing again, since Red Dead died on me, freaking, I bought all of them, and I also realized I had never bought the Bull Rush ability. So I bought that too. That was the only warrior ability that I hadn't gotten. Remember, I was telling you I did have all the warrior abilities. I was wrong. That I thought I did, but I didn't. I never bought that one. So I bought that one and checked it out recently. It was like, I think, one of the last abilities I just got. But yeah, that's why I was like, yeah, I bought them all and checked all of them out in the warrior and the assassin trees. And now with Atlantis, it's giving me new abilities where I can what it calls enhance the abilities. And remember, I was telling you my Bull Rush ability, I can actually, what's the description say? It says, summon a bull that charges through enemies and knocks them down, dealing 400% warrior damage. The regular Bull Rush ability just lets you charge through your enemies, knocking them down, making it so you can attack them while they're on the ground. But this one, literally, I'm becoming a sorcerer now, man, where I actually summon a bull and he runs through them. That's why I was like, I'm actually doing some sorcery type shit now. I conjure or summon a bull that charges, he appears out of thin air right in front of me, and whoever I'm pointing at, he runs right through him. He just appears running already on the ground and just right through whatever I'm pointing at and tell him to bull through. That's why I was like, some of these Atlantis abilities are really cool. That's why I was like, this whole DLC is the best. That's why, remember I told you, this was the whole reason why I bought the Odyssey game, was to check out the Atlantis DLC when I had heard that they had come out with that. So, that's why I was like, it's awesome. But it's essentially, like, I remember I was telling you, they came out with Odyssey only a year after Origins, and Origins, they said they were going to wait like a couple of years to come out with it, and they just came out with, I think, Origins within a year or two after, I think it was Syndicate before that. And then, like I said, they said after Origins came out, our next game we're going to take a couple of years to come out with, and then the next year they came out with Odyssey. And then and after they came out with Odyssey, they said the same thing again. We're going to take a couple of years. We're going to start taking more time to come out with their games to make sure everything is better quality and everything, for better quality controls and everything. That's what they've been saying, like I said, for the last, 3 games. Finally, Valhalla, after Odyssey, if you look at the release date for Odyssey and the release date for Valhalla, Valhalla didn't come out until 2 or 3 years after Odyssey come out. That's why I was like, they finally kept their word and didn't come out with a new game right away and within a year. They took a couple of years, also possibly a little over 2 years, like I said, maybe 3, and they finally came out with Valhalla. And a lot of people have said that they can tell the difference. They like Valhalla. They said it's a lot more detailed than even this. They're starting to go more of the role-playing way. So that's why they just keep making the game more and more detailed. More and more weapons, more and more outfits, more and more ways to make your character unique. You know what I mean? They keep expanding beyond just the open world and awesome story, essentially. They're expanding the rest of the game. But that's why I was like, if you've played Origins before this, you'll notice that Origins in this game are exactly the same. The only difference is Origins, the one from Egypt, you get to use shields. And I don't understand why they allow all the Athenian soldiers and some of the Spartan soldiers, all of them have shields. Why don't we get one? We got to use them in the previous game. Well, essentially, he was trained was going to be growing up as a Spartan. He would have been a warrior. But because he got kidnapped by the cult teaches everybody to be an assassin, essentially. Do everything dirty, underhanded, behind the scenes, all that. So that's why he's got the assassin training, essentially. I like Marcos. He's pretty fun. Mm-hmm. That's why I was like, that dude was all over the board, man. He's crazy. But he's funny. He's a good guy. You know what I mean? You could tell he was one of those just good guy, trying to make some money. Always had some harebrained idea of exactly. They even say that in the beginning of the game. He always have some harebrained idea of a scam or some kind of way, even good or bad, but always had some kind of a plan to make some money. He's a hustler. And he liked the ladies. Because I think at one point or another there's an orgy going on at his mansion there at his winery, at his, what do you want to call it, he grows the grapes there in Kefalonia in his house, essentially his house. I think they have a freaking, yep. 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 So I was like, I think at one point or another they have a party or an orgy at his place. Going through the story missions. So I was like, it's all kinds of... This game is all over the board. Definitely not for children. See what I mean? That's what I said. That's some bullshit. Like, remember I was telling you, that's why I just did it last night, too. I got my melee resistance up to 15% last night. Yep. That's why I was telling you, I'm so sick. I'm a rank 99, and every now and then, it's rare, but every now and then somebody can kill me one shot. One hit. And I'm like, what the hell? Where did that come from? You know what I mean? So, I put my melee resistance up just recently to 15%. I did it through the mastery. Yeah. Well, go back to your last save. It might be 5, 10, 15 minutes ago, but whatever's the closest to that point. Just, isn't that frustrating? That shit pissed me off too. That's why I said I got tired of that, and I just put up my melee resistance to 15%. I did it through the mastery, though. I didn't do it as a perk or anything else. So if I put a perk or anything else, I'll get even more melee resistance. You know what I mean? Or an engraving. You might want to get that veil ability. Death Veil. You might want to get that Death Veil ability. It always makes, as soon as you kill somebody, their body... well, let me just read the description. I was going to say they disintegrate. Enemies killed by assassin automatically disappear and cannot be detected by anyone. But essentially, like I said, as soon as you kill somebody and their body goes limp, they literally disintegrate in front of you. And nobody can see them. You know what I mean? So like it said, they essentially disappear. That's why I was like, you definitely want to get that Death Veil ability. If you don't have that, you have to always keep picking up the bodies and hiding them or throwing them outside of the fort. eventually somebody's going to notice it and run away and do the call for help. You know what I mean? Back up and set off the alarm. You know what I mean? Set the fire ablaze. I forget what they call it. Signal fire. Light the signal fire. And then you're totally screwed because it calls in like 10, 15 guys. And essentially, I've realized when they call in help, you know all the soldiers that are running around on the roads that you randomly run into while you're traveling around, that run randomly back and forth on the roads from fort to fort? Those are the soldiers that are going to come. So if you kill all of them, for the entire rest of the time that you're in that area, you won't run into any more soldiers on the road at all. Unless they're from the opposing side, you know what I mean? Whatever country controls the area, if it's Sparta, all those Sparta soldiers will come in that normally patrol the road. You'll kill all them, so the only thing you'll see on the road is Greek soldiers. That's why I was like, essentially, those are the patrol guys that are normally on patrol, and if you kill all of them for the rest of the time you're in that area, you won't see a single one on the road. They're all dead. So I was like, some of the aspects of the game are cool, how you can have an effect on it. Did you want to see what Atlantis looks like since I'm in that DLC right now? Mm-hmm. I'm live broadcasting right now. You could watch that, or I could share play it and let you watch it. But yeah, I'm live broadcasting it. Nobody's watching it because I've just been sitting here talking with you. But that's why I was like, now that I've kept telling you about it, I want you to see it. That's why I was like, I think I want to get your opinion, just let you even see it, because I'm like, I think you'd really like this. And then go right back to it. Just do a quick save so you're right where you were. I don't think it'll let you quick save while you're in a fort. Yeah. Yeah. It won't let you, because it's not going to let you load right back into the game in danger, you know, in risk of being attacked. Huh. Go to my profile, and it should show that I'm live broadcasting. It should give you an option to join that, watch that. Yeah. 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 You may not have subscribed to my channel. If you subscribe and tell it to send you notifications, it'll send you notifications and let you know whenever I'm broadcasting. I don't think you have to. You can just watch it. Since you're on the PlayStation, you can just watch it through the PlayStation too. What you said that it asked you for YouTube and something else at first? Yeah, hit start the game. Or no, that start the game will start your game. My bad. I guess you, like I said, could go to my profile and go to media and watch it like live like that. Here, I can do, no. I'll just share play with you. I'll just share play with you.